Good day, everyone. I'm Elder Margaret, and my spirit name is Wapiski Musquasqueo. And today I'm very honored to be part of this project, and the project is called From Darkness into a Dancing Light. And it's a reflection on a year of the pandemic that we've been going through, and it's through the music, dance, and images, and through birch bark biting. Yeah. And so I would just like to just say a short prayer and a smudge for the artists that are have contributed to this project. Say, that when anything is done with the thought of togetherness and collaboration, then it'll work out. It'll be a good project. So we just want to thank those artists that shared a part of themselves, because every artist, when they do a project, when they do a painting, or when they do say a birch bark biting, they put so much of themselves into that piece. So with these birch bark bitings and the artists that are going to be singing and dancing, to help them out, to show their images. We just want to pray and ask Creator to give them that strength, and to just bless them with the things that they need. So we say thank you, Creator. Thank you for bringing these artists to us.
Hello, my name is June Garou. I'm from the Peter Valentine Cree Nation. I started doing birch bark biting in 2017. It took me, I knew the basics of birch bark biting, but I had to visualize what I was biting. And I wanted to do dragonflies and I had a hard time. So I practiced a lot and I put it to rest. And the next day, I went outside early in the morning. The dew was still on the ground, and there was a table in my yard, and I was walking towards it, and I seen a dragonfly just lying there in the morning sun, and I was wondering why didn't it fly away, because they usually fly away. So I looked closer, and its wings were weighed down with the dew, and it couldn't fly away because its wings were wet. So I went inside, and I took a piece of cloth and I wiped around it. I couldn't help the dragonfly because if I tried to touch his wings, they would have broke. So, anyways, I left it and then I kept looking at it. And when I came back, it was gone. Its wings dried and it was able to fly away. And so I took a picture of it and I would look at that dragonfly and that's how I learned how to visualize and to be able to make dragonflies. And thank you so much for listening. I would like to thank the Arts Council for inviting me. It's a pleasure and an honor. And thank you, Crystal Cold and Hillary McDonald, photographer. And you all have a good day. Thanks again.
Tansi. Nina Apita Tipiskau Bisu Misqueo, Half Moon. And my other name is Pat Bruder. I'm a member of the Peter Ballantine Cree Nation, and Churchill, born and raised in Churchill, Manitoba. I didn't have a teacher. I'm self-taught, and the reason why I started teaching myself how to do it was because I seen some pieces of Angelique Morasti's, and she is the one that inspired me. I thought her pieces were so beautiful, but the only reason that you can't do things is yourself. That's the only thing that stops you from doing anything. So I started teaching myself how to do it, and I took it upon myself to be responsible to teach as many children as I could in my lifetime. And so today I teach in schools and I teach hundreds of children. And I always say to them, always remember that the only thing that stops you from doing anything is yourself. And so my piece is called Always Be Resilient. And one thing I was told a number of years ago is that each bite mark represents a spirit. So when you look at it, birch bark bitings have hundreds and hundreds of bite marks. So I look at that as being like our ancestors. The first thing I do when I go to collect my birch bark is I offer tobacco to give thanks and say a prayer before I take the bark. And this piece is called Always Be Resilient because I look at the bees and I look at the water, and they have no choice but to be resilient. And also, I was told by an elder one time that we come from the stars. So a lot of my pieces have stars when you look at the middle of it. And also that we got to think about the generations ahead. So the branches that are coming out from it represents our future generations, the next 7 generations. And for me, I always look at the birch bark and I look at the birch bark's DNA, because when you peel the birch bark, it starts to, if you peel it and you lay it flat on a table, you'll watch. It does have a DNA, even though that birch bark is come off the tree, it has a memory. It starts to curl up. I look at that, and for myself, I look back at my DNA. My mother was lost in the barren lands for 9 days when she was a child in the dead of winter, and she survived. She had to be resilient. She dug under the snow and ate frozen berries, and she walked at night and she slept during the day because she knew she would freeze if she slept at night. So in my lifetime, I've always looked back at that and realized that as people, no matter what situations we are in, even with COVID right now, um, we have to be resilient, and we have to look back at those things, and we have to use our higher power and believe that we're going to be taken care of, and never ever take people for granted, and respect all. And so that's all I have to say, and I would like to acknowledge all the people that made this project possible. And I would also like to send hello to all the PBCN band members, and also from the community where my roots are from, South End Ranger Lake. I say hello to all the people that I haven't had the opportunity to meet in my lifetime yet. Nina Nas Kumiten.
Good evening. On behalf of the Northern Gateway Museum, I would like to congratulate the Flin Arts Council for having the vision and the foresight to celebrate the art of birch bark biting and spotlight some of the accomplished and famous artists here tonight. The Northern Gateway Museum is very proud and honored to be the home of the famed Angelique Morasti collection, as it is here at Denier Beach on the shores of Beaver or Amisk Lake that she demonstrated her birch bark biting skills so very long ago. Angelique and her husband Bill, who helped her to gather her bark locally, were fixtures of this community for decades. Many of her and her mother Susan Ballantyne's works are on display at the Northern Gateway Museum as a part of the Angelique Morasti collection. We have also been pleased to display the birch bark bitings of Annabelle Ayres and other local artists. Thank you for presenting From Darkness into a Dancing Light. Congratulations. Thank you.
Tansi, hello, Doti Mak, Pugiti Gayai, Nidoman Spigason, Agnes Moran Pronto. I go to Ayaska, you pigian, or particle to an oak. You are notes, Apsisi P. Mamskomak, and Tosisipan, Angelique, Morasti Yitao. The mama happen, you on your simisa, you want me to go tack, Jemima, Highway Yitao, Instead is with Iwan logum, Susan hisidigaso. Iwan tosisipan Angela quiz, gimma matawiso. Aigmana, was kaway yot nat. Iway piginat, iwigota, igimasan pitak mana. Wapigonia amuak, iwopisisisak. Iwopia pugo, uipitigia patsitat. Iwigin na hit. Piewang weeks can all magmaga. Mono chigaskita, this iga kapi, igaskita and tapi yugo, kapiniste yetoskian, igibaski yiswian. Quanimanagi wiki waka nido, minstikan magisidigatio, Indian Island. Yotoas kagan ski hog, yogisipamio, tashumanagayas, it no agisipamio. Iko pigi ho tatogisiga hipo namak wadawiti mi hip minawaso. Kuisin sigas managay kaya toskit entonces sipan Angelique. Aso manang ichima o chimani como was juegan cantonak. Yo mina gois ka Mr. Toskiwin. Como was juega miskak. Stoma naga pitonak. Yo anwido was juega miskak kuya giway. Nantortes na wawan bawas ko wagi pasam. Eko mani kagagi masin pita ruipitutse. Eko piego, wane ruipitan miri, wane tausam timichito, igi mama kotsigit. Wane kituti wane peg, eko timoniaski o imstak so that kiwitsig, ruipit igetawis tamakot. Eko kitomi nagi piiwio, eko asami nagi masin pitsigio. Muda mini gasawido nanto chitio. Sigas man nagiwa de givitamag. Pero magutsune ako tapanas ko. Itatawi ka ito. Tapos gisigot sa nago umistigok. Managaganawa pa taman. Pues gisigot sa nin. Wani widi wita mawit. Bisa gisigot sa nin. Niyan po ko. Iko minaman ako magawi gipitsit. Kumasiman ito. Teme daw sa no taske. Wani ko tatagipitsyan. Magas nanta ko tsitek. Pero takskirita manuge wadaga wita mask. Tansa wiga wit. Wismana nimita tao entonces sipan. Ese igaskita kiwado. Kagi mama watsigit hoskoya yapatsiat. Modo mistake usawanak. Ise itatorskiu. Apsis po biats mustata ko tutimag. Wese me diditin. Ekose. Nagamusta mo, nagsusisipan. Kung sinistay sa kasitan. Nutawina, wichina. Nutawinan, wichihinan. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Sawidiminan, nutawinan. Sawidiminan, nutawinan. Sawidiminan, nutawinan. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Kisagitnan, nutawinan. Kisagitnan, nutawinan. Kisagitnan, nutawinan. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Weha, wehai ho we. Itimaginawinan, nutawinan. Itimaginawinan, nutawinan. Itimaginawinan, nutawinan. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Inikamusta wag nito sisipan. Angelique, Morasti. Inikamusta mo wag nito sis. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Hey ha, hey hi ho we. Hey ha,
I'm a believer that when an artist does a piece, even though they do a repetitive piece of that, every piece is an entity of its own, takes on a spirit of its own, and that's just the way the artist works, right? They share so much of their personal self with the people that admire their work or buy their work or just look at their work. That an artist comes from a different place. And it wasn't Louis Riel that said, "My people will sleep for 100 years." Well, it's 140 years now, but and they'll emerge through the artisan world, which I believe is so true, because there's so many artisans out there today, so much more artisans out there today. And I always admired people that had that ability to take a piece, a medium, and work with it. I'd just like to, just say in conclusion that, I pray that that the artists that are doing these birch bark bitings, that they have, a good showing, that people will receive what they've done and what they've shared of themselves, the depth of what they shared of themselves. So with that, I would just like to just say thank you.